Italian cuisine. He is a businessman, philanthropist, and a politician. He's a man many people refer to as a bit of a maverick because he's very hard-hitting on issues, even when it's against his own party members, very vocal on issues concerning the public. And many have wondered where he's been the past few days when the whole fracas about the e-levy is brewing in Parliament. I've personally seen him behind the scenes, very quiet and, keeping to his own space in the chamber. And people wonder, what is he thinking? Today he's here. He's the man I refer to as wearing a coat of many colors. The Honorable MP for Asin Central, former MP for Asin North, but now Asin Central, the Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning.
You heard your Obiara Wani master song.
Yeah, I did.
So who is your master?
Well, politically, I'll say the president. Business-wise, I don't have a master, but admire and celebrate successful people.
Okay.
So I learn from people who have succeeded or made it in life.
Oh, can you name one person?
Dangote is one in Africa here.
Okay.
And people that I admire in business in Ghana, you have Ernest, you have Despite, you have Ibrahim, you have Rockshaw, we have a lot of them.
You aspired to be a millionaire at age 40 and you hit it at 36.
Yes.
Is that why you're choosing these people? Because all these names you've mentioned are what some of us know are great business tycoons.
Well, it might be partly so. But in short, I admire them for their hard work. And also, I'm older than all these guys I'm talking about. But when you look at the things they're doing in this country, we need to applaud them for their contribution to society. And therefore, I wouldn't say that Ibrahim is a well-known NDC and therefore I'm against his business. Then I'm not a good citizen of this country. Because I want Ghanaians to succeed, not only foreigners. So, if I see a Ghanaian coming up, doing very well in business, I applaud him.
But you're also very quick to offer critique when you find the need.
If you're going contrary to the law, why not? If it's against the country, why not? I will not sit there for you to make money at the expense of the poor people or poor nation like Ghana. That, I will say it. But if you are doing the right thing, why not? The same way I will criticize the wrongdoing, I will applaud you for the good things you are doing for the country.
I know I've listened to some interviews and you've always maintained very firm opinions on issues. So when the issue of the e-levy came up and the fracas was going on in Parliament, I was looking for you in the video and I found you in one of the videos sitting down very quietly just observing what was happening. So now I begin to wonder, what are your thoughts on all these issues surrounding the e-levy?
I support the e-levy. No, and I would have gone a step further. The finance minister has been charitable to Ghanaians.
Charitable?
Yes. And you see, I listened to your guests before they left. When I was coming, I don't know, my driver put it on 92.7. And I was listening to the presenter. The way he spoke, criticizing the e-levy, using the oil money for free SHS. Look, you journalists, you are not above the law. You think you can say anything and go scot-free, but a politician says something and you chastise him. Hell no, we are all equal before the law. Don't hide behind journalism and say things you don't, to your own, you think this is the way it should go. If it doesn't go that way, hell should break. No. You see, if I'm in the studio with the guy, I would have blasted him right there. Because I will use the same tone for him to feel it. The way he's pompous and he's ignorant too. The argument he's making is hollow. Yeah, and somebody should tell you to change your attitude. Tell me if I'm wrong. Yes, why not? Then we move on. But don't hide behind your profession and think you can say anything and go scot-free. No. The gentleman was talking about e-levy. And his argument is that, you see, he skewed the thing to only free SHS. But ask and check how many areas that the minister mentioned what the free SHS is going to do. Only free SHS. And explaining we use oil money for this, yes. It's good that we are using oil money for free education. Ask them. NDC. They were using the free SHS to pay salaries. Which one do you prefer? A poor child doesn't benefit. It's only people who are working. My question was that before the oil, were we not paying administration, meaning workers in this country and everything? Why is it that now we don't use oil money to develop the country and we are using it to pay salaries? That is one. So, madam, if Akufo-Addo comes and says, I'm going to fund education, it is free to you and you are going to pay money for your child to go to school. That would have been a problem. Government has taken over, using the oil money to pay for your child's school fees. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Now, if the Minister of Finance comes to say that we need e-levy, let me tell you, even my best friend from America is against the e-levy. This Saturday we were arguing. When I made reference to America, I said, don't go there. I said, why shouldn't I go there? America is the richest nation in the world. And they are using today, I want you to know, a form of e-levy in America today. Why? It's simple. Some journalists are arguing as if they know everything on earth. They don't travel. You sit here, talk anyhow, and you think nobody should challenge you. I will challenge you. Because in a year, 20 countries, in a year. And when I go, madam, I don't go to drink tea. I go explore the city that I visit, how businesses are done. And when I come, I can make comparison easily. Now, in America, today, Google, they call it Cash App. Listen to what they do. If it's $500, you don't pay tax. If it's $600, you pay tax on the $100. If it's $1,000, you pay tax on $500. And now they went a step further. They call something structuring. Because it's $500 a day, everywhere, I want to state it clearly, I'm not against what any Ghanaian is talking about that he doesn't like e-levy, because there's nowhere in the world that people are taxed. So I don't have a problem. But let us speak the truth. What America has done, a step further, is that they call something structuring. Structuring means I want to send $1,000 to my cousin or my daughter. But because I don't want to pay tax, today I'll send 500. Tomorrow I'll send 500. The American system will catch up with you. Because there's no space within 24 hours, if it's not 48, and you do it today and tomorrow, straight, they report you to IRS.
You mean you're evading taxes?
Precisely. And you know how to do it? In a year, IRS will give you a printout of all the money you transferred, and they will tax you.
Do you have tax systems in Ghana to monitor it to that detail?
That is what we have started, and even now hell is breaking loose with this.
Well, hell broke loose from Parliament, where you're a member, and we saw the scenes that we saw, and it makes us wonder how is this okay?
I'll come to that. I wanted to explain to you that e-levy is not only Ghana, even the richest nation. Why they are doing that is that economies, governments have realized that the trend of doing business is on our phone. So how do you track people doing business on their phones to tax them? That is why they are implementing that. And surprisingly, you Ghanaians, now I'm going to be 62. If not, I've used some words for you. It is very easy to pay 2% to MTN, but it is difficult for you to pay 1.5 to your own country for development. It's a shame, black people. We will continue to be slaves in our own country because of our poor and bad mentality.
Should those who stand
now,
by the view that
I want to land
1.5 comes on top of the 2 to make 3.5, would they be right in being worried about the increase?
What right? I want you to explain. MTN taking the 2% is a private company. And if you look at their budget and the projections of profit that they're going to make, it's over $700 million.
So why not tax the profits?
Yeah,
why not tax
we're
the
going to tax them too. We're going to tax them. No, yesterday, my brother in Kumasi Sepasi called, oh, bruh, I need 1,000. I told the driver this morning I'm going to do it. 1,000. So if I pay tax on the 1,000 to my brother, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? We have to be careful in the way we go about things. Now, let me come home for Ghanaians to know why I support e-levy. And I earlier on made a statement that I would have gone further. Let me tell you, and see how you are being cheated. You are knocking your head. You are being cheated in this country, and you don't want to pay tax. You allow people to cheat. You, because you work for GBC, the system is structured, so you are going to pay tax. Let me tell you, I have 3 projects going on at the same time. The contractor, I buy the materials, he charges labor. The first one, and every stage is a different charge until he completes the project, every stage. Now, he's casting the floor. The guy charged me 350,000 for the labor. Okay? This guy, I went there on Saturday. Well, I appreciated the work they were doing, so I just dashed them on my own, besides whatever. But I want you to know that you are being cheated because I questioned the guy. Look, 350,000 labor. Mason gets 120 a day. Those without the skills, the wheelbarrow, cutting the sand and everything, 80 Ghana cedis. The one making 120 a day, in 6 days, makes 700. So in 4 weeks, he makes 2,880. Madam, no tax.
Tax free.
Good. You see, the ladies and gentlemen here, how much do they make that they pay tax?
It's taken before the money hits your account.
Good. And now, I'm talking of only the mason and the carpenters. What about the contractor himself? At least the 350, I know 50,000 will go to me. How many months will you take to get 50,000? Why is it that you are paying your 5,000, or hypothetically, I'm not saying, if you are making 5,000 cedis and you are paying tax, somebody is making 50,000 and he's not paying tax.
So why not do a scheme that targets those who are not paying tax? Perhaps leave the ones who are already paying taxes before their monies hit the account out of the loop.
Madam.
Is that possible?
Madam, I pay tax from my MP, whatever. Pay my rent. The rent that I receive is 8% tax I pay. Okay? If I'm going to do any business transaction and it requires that I pay tax, why not? It doesn't mean the money that has been taxed from my 8%, the 8% they took from the rent, doesn't mean I don't have to do any business and pay tax.
So you don't buy the whole double taxation argument?
No, I buy that. But when you look at it, madam, it is because the people are not ready to listen. There are about 6 stages of it that you don't even pay. Except the first one that whoever I'm sending the 1,000 this morning to my brother in Sepasi, I'm going to pay. Okay, that money is being tracked. The system is there. Whatever he's going to do with the money, it's not taxable. Yeah, just read it. But you see, with all due respect to you, some journalists will just take this. Even the MPs, I won't use journalists. Let me use the MPs. The MPs, diabolically, will tell you that when you send 1,000, you pay 1.75. When you send 900, then you pay another 1.75. You send 800. It is not true. Madam, please check. It is not true. They are being diabolic. And when you have opposition MPs, talking and fighting in parliament, and at the same time expect you to their rules for them, construct their rules for them, I'm afraid.
The fact remains that for some people, the only argument they hear is that they are going to be paying some tax they were not paying before. And the quest to understand it more is what has generated or degenerated, depending on which way you look at it, to the scenes that we saw in Parliament. So I just want to ask you directly, do you think the NPP side of the House has what it takes to see this through, to pass this, despite the opposition from the minority side?
If you have the numbers, yes.
Conditional.
If you don't have the numbers, I mean, we're going to vote.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have your 138, yes, you pass it. If you don't have 138, you have a problem. Because the opposition also has the numbers. And let me tell you and advise everybody, my sister. You know, I always say that if today problems for NPP, thinking they'll leave power for me to enjoy, the problems you're creating today will be worsened when you take over from me.
And this is for the opposition. You think they are trying to frustrate government business?
Yes. Yes. And when we talk to them individually, I'll tell you, if we talk to them individually, some of them agree with the e-levy.
Do some of your people disagree with the e-levy?
Yeah.
So then you don't have 138 as you claim.
Yeah, but I'm saying that, you see, the 138 that we don't have is some because of absenteeism. Some are not there.
We'll come to absenteeism.
No problem. I'm ready. You see, because of absenteeism, because they whip you that this is government policy, you have to obey. They whip them. Look, if you allow this to pass, we are doomed. So do everything in your power to make sure the e-levy doesn't go through.
But is that helping us? Are those entrenched positions helping the debate?
Politics. It's politics. They are playing the game to win. And NDC has succeeded in a way because the level of frustration and even understanding of this policy has become a problem because of the way NDC is twisting information.
But government has had the opportunity, as it went around the country with that, what we call the e-levy caravan, to explain the policies to people. We've had members on your side come to the table to try and explain, and yet the problem persists that people are actively determined not to accept that this will happen.
I've told you earlier that, my sister, nobody wants to pay tax. Nobody wants to pay tax.
The idea, the other side of the argument is that if people knew for sure that their taxes were being used for the things that they wanted them to be used for, they might be more willing to pay.
Excuse me, give me a break. Give me a break here. You don't know how they use your taxes for. I pay $25,000 for my daughter's school fees. And there are 5 of them at Lincoln. Around $25,000. I don't benefit from free SHS. What is the tax doing? Look at the roads. Yesterday, I went to Tama, my new site, and the whole place is asphalted. Where's the money coming from? You want roads, you want this. Look, you underestimate and allow yourself to be polluted and you see. Let me tell you, we were in Parliament when they imported these empty ambulances into this country. Do you know how much it cost? $70,000 empty ambulance. Please, my cousin was sick just this Friday at Sarfo, and they brought him here. When you see the ambulance and the equipment in it, his pressure was 215/133. From Fosu to Ridge Hospital, this ambulance and one nurse were able to control his pressure from 133 diastolic and 215 systolic to 105 systolic and 98 diastolic. NDC time of that. If you don't see what your tax is doing for you, I'm telling you today, it's a shame. Ghanaians, we should all be ashamed of ourselves. When we sit here, and for 8 years of President Kufuor, he built, the word is built, 52 model schools in this country. What did NDC leave us? E-blocks, 28. Excuse me. And you have forgotten what your taxes are doing for you.
So you don't buy the argument that the gold reserves could have done that for us, and the oil reserves could have done all these things.
And the guy was arguing about oil. Let me tell you. Now, you went there, so let me explain. The guy says in the budget, we estimated that crude oil will be at $61. And now it's 95. So government is making profit of 34. Sound argument. That is crude. So if crude oil today he says it's 89.9. Okay? Do we use crude oil here or we use finished products? Please. That's what I'm saying, that with all due respect to some journalists, when you coming out with an argument, don't be one-sided and be so furious as if I've gone for his girlfriend. The way his posture, I could tell from the voice, the way he was talking. So how much does a finished product also cost?
You're talking about
Ghana, we sell our crude products and go and buy finished product. That I disagree with all the governments. And look, we have to tell the truth for Ghanaians to know. NDC, this boss party, NDC, Tema Oil Refinery, they collapsed Tema Oil Refinery and gave contracts to their own people to go and buy finished products and bring it. Go and see that huge factory or company or institution that we call it now. My sister, they don't refine crude oil because NDC set up their businessmen for finished products and abandon. The same thing is happening to Nigeria too. So when you sell the crude oil, you go and buy refined products.
And can I assume that most of the time you would sell it at lower prices and buy the refined product at higher prices, and so you need more money to get
very smart woman. I'm happy I'm having this debate with you here. Yeah, very smart one. You see the guy, the way he was talking, I'm not there, so I don't disagree, but you could tell from his voice. He's an empty guy. I'm telling you, 92, bring the guy one-on-one and let me debate with him. I'll floor him just like that. He doesn't travel. Sit there, and we are spending money on free SHS. Why do you have to get e-tax? Look, my sister, e-levy. Today, we are not in normal times. The whole world, Canada, one of the most safest country in the world, because of pandemic, COVID. Look at demonstrations going on in Canada. It has never happened before. America, in 40 years, write them down so that when you go out there and the people are arguing, you'll be able to tell them. Inflation today, in 40 years, because of pandemic, COVID, American inflation is 7.5%.
And it's set to rise if the oil prices go to 100.
Oh, you better start. That is GBC. They should come and poach you too. Yes. Honestly. Yes. Because you are blessed with time.
People, because the business desk, I worry them so much. I just need to understand how some of these things work. So sometimes we ask a lot of questions, and your colleagues have helped with some answers when they've been on the platform with us. And we're expecting that these debates will happen in a more civil manner on the floor of Parliament. But then we saw the scenes that we saw. I didn't see you in there exchanging blows or slaps. Now we call e-blows and e-slaps, whatnot. But
I don't mean to cut you in, but in June I'll be 62. 62. If not politics and a civil servant, I would have been out at age 59 or 60. It means I'm matured. So I look at the young ones. We did that.
I've heard you say that you prefer to be a businessman more than a politician.
Of course.
Because in business, you kind of abide by the rules and make your own rules and succeed. But in Parliament, you have to follow the orders of the House. And the fact remains that because of the numbers and the close call that it is,
that's why they are fighting.
They are fighting. So you're not part of those who are fighting?
No, I don't have time to go and fight over this.
The numbers are a big deal. And
I'm saying that is why they are fighting.
Because of that,
I'm not going to fight.
You mentioned absenteeism before. Let's come to that matter. One person in particular.
Yeah, let me address this. You said I prefer to be a businessman than.
I've heard you say.
Yes, and I maintain that. Why I say that is that the harassment I go through as a politician, if a businessman, you can't harass me like that. You can't go and harass Ernest, Despite and the rest like that. Let me give you this Saturday. And this is an advice. I'm going off a bit. My experience this weekend. I'm going off a bit. This is advice to NPP people, NPP supporters. The way they are grumbling that the party people don't take care of them. In my own studio, a guy was saying that he has struggled to buy what? A car from the port. And he's not getting it. He's mad. I said, look, somebody went and sweat, toil, worked hard in Germany, brought his car here, and you want them to give it to you. You want them to give it to you. How? I disagree with whatever government who introduced that. I disagree. But listen to what I'm saying. MPP people that the problems they are facing, it is also in NDC. Because a guy came to me Saturday. I was my normal exercise in the morning and he came. So I asked him to wait. He waited. After that we went in. A former MP, NDC MP. I will not mention his name. No, Ghanaians, I normally mention names to prove that I'm not lying. But Ghanaians don't like that. So when he does something for you, he will go and say it, and so I won't say it. But I'm telling you why I prefer to be a businessman. And at the same time, whatever happening in MPP is happening in NDC too. This is a former MP who is sick. He needs $13,000 to go and do the surgery. He says he has 6,000. And he has gone to every NDC man that he knows. He's not getting any help. It was Saturday. It was money that was taken to my constituency, but I didn't go to my constituency this week. I called my wife to give the 20,000 cedis to her. That's my support. Then I left my 2 girls plus my wife. We went to the site in Tema. I was so annoyed with the woman. In fact, I didn't want to give her, but my wife did it. Look, we were coming from the site to Accra, and we saw coconut seller, whatever they say, let's drink some coconut before we go. A car pulled over. And the woman, coming for money. Coming for money. Those are the people who don't want anybody to get taxes for them. Coming for money. If you don't bang, how are you going to sleep? Cheap life. Where they were selling the coconut, she has hired the Uber, trailing me. So assuming I asked her, assuming I had not stopped here, were you going to follow me to my house? What is your problem? I've had an accident and I don't have money anywhere. Saturday. Me, a businessman, I'm flying all over in the air. And there was a girl sitting there doing this.
Some may say it's because we don't have a properly structured social welfare system in the country. And this is not just against one government, it's successive governments.
Madam, let me tell you, if you want to succeed in life, forget about this social. In America that I live, all those on welfare are people who have failed in life. Case closed. Case closed.
Let's get back to the parliamentary issues. I quite like this train of the conversation, but we have to get back on the numbers in Parliament. And some have suggested that there's an attempt to eliminate by rough tactics going on both sides of the House to make sure that the numbers are kept at best even for whichever agenda either side wants to push. But very few people would think that there would be an internal attempt to cut down on the numbers, and that's why perhaps the absence of the Honourable MP for Dom Kwabenya raises questions, because some have suggested that she may be also playing a card that the rest of the public may not be seeing. Is it something
what card is she playing?
Well, the suggestion is that her long absence could cause the numbers to go down on the NPP side of the House. So perhaps she's asking for something which has not been granted.
Yes, she says she wants to be a deputy majority leader. That woman has failed in life. Please, why are you saying, hey, a whole minister, a cabinet minister, now demanding that she should be made a deputy majority leader before he comes? He should go to hell.
Did she write
yes,
this?
She has requested that. Yes, she has requested that.
And what was the response?
I have 2 kids with her, and therefore I never speak the truth. I will speak the truth, even at gunpoint. I will speak the truth and die. That is exactly what she's doing. Please.
Is this something that could cost her seat? Because some have suggested that.
Of course.
Once
if you don't come
returning,
to Parliament and you are on TikTok dancing, excuse me.
What's the exact law surrounding absences?
It's not for Apostle Kwadwo Sarfo. Get it straight. And I'm people are insulting me because I went there to campaign for him, for her. And Michael Kwe, the speaker, a man that I respect very well. But
you campaigned against his son for that Dom Kwabenya
because
seat.
Adowa used my kids. The kids were calling, Daddy, please, you have to support mommy, do this, and now everybody is insulting me. Yeah, for doing that. But I have not regretted because she's very responsible when it comes to the kids. So I don't have a problem.
Explain to us what the law exactly is on absences for parliamentarians.
Straight 15 working days.
How many days has it been now since she's been
more
away?
than that.
Should we expect her seat to be declared vacant?
Why not? Yeah, you should go and contest on TikTok. Please.
The Honourable Kennedy is my guest at the table this morning. He's answering questions and dropping his own.
No, dropping what? Why? You don't want me to speak the truth. You know the backlash I'm also getting.
That's exactly. You see, people see you and they always ask, why are you always so hard hitting, even on your own party? So, and I've heard you say somewhere that you can only do that because you have money, and so you think your money shields you from the implications of some of the things that you say in public.
Let me tell you something. Maybe they misconstrue it, but there's element of truth. If you don't have money, okay, and you talk the way I'm talking, you will lose your seat.
So I'm not an Ashanti person, but I've heard people say "yentu sikanifo." Is that what you're alluding to here?
No.
Okay.
Why not?
You're
not the best brain on earth. If you believe in that, you'll be a fool. You'll be a fool.
So then,
you have
how do you get away with some of the things that you say?
Because it's the truth. Case closed. You know, I listen to Ghanaians praising Yantechi. Today you are praising Yantechi. When you were praising Anas, that criminal, you were praising him. Ghana football should sink. Ghana football should sink.
Then that goes with it, the passions of the millions of Ghanaians who want to see laurels from the national teams for the country.
Look, there are two boys in Spain that the FA president and FA whatever, the GFA, wanted me to bring the boys to come and play. They said no.
Who suggested? The suggestion.
GFA, they came to me because I'm very close to the boys and
to convince them to play for Ghana, and they said no.
Yeah, they said no.
Did they give reasons?
Yeah. So I don't want to go and make a mistake like a Samoejan and this, the way Ghanaians will chastise me. This same media. I listen to my boys on the Man FM. I don't know where they went for the media, the sports guys. I don't know if they went to heaven for their training. They criticize every player. They criticize GFA. They will criticize everything.
But don't they have a responsibility as a fourth estate of the realm to point out?
Don't deceive yourself that if you belong to the fourth estate, you can criticize everything. It should be, the word is constructively. You should criticize constructively. You just don't criticize. That now, I heard you guys talking about media, what? They chastising the media.
Because there are suggestions that the recent arrest of media personnel and civil society advocate Oliver Barker-Vormawor indicates that perhaps there may be an intention to impose a culture of silence.
This is the first time I'm meeting, but the way you are asking questions, it simply tells me that you are a very smart woman. And therefore, a smart woman, you'll be able to reason and assess situations. Do you think the guy that you mentioned, what he posted on his Facebook is the right thing?
I think that we've all agreed on this platform that we do not support any comments that even suggest that a coup is in any way or form acceptable.
Unfortunately, the old guys from GBC, you should call them for them to tell you. When the coup comes first, and today we are lucky because they have a lot of radio stations. If not, you will be killed first. You sitting here will be killed first. You know why? Those days, they seize GBC first and make the announcement. So if you come and rattle your English here, these soldiers will come, pam, 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 pam. They kill you. That's what I'm saying. You will be killed first because you work at GBC. But today, it might not be possible because we have several radio stations. Okay? So don't think coup will help anybody. Bobie, what did he put on his Facebook? If Agyapong was charged treason, and I was telling the gentleman that if there should be a war or chaos in this country, it will come from journalists and not politicians.
Serious statement there. The Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is answering our questions and yours as well. So, Honorable, at this point, we'll open it up to those who are watching us, and they will also ask some questions or make some certain comments. So, Kaf will be doing that for us. Hello, Kaf.
All right. Thank you so much. Enjoying the chat. Messages coming in on 055-556-1034. Good morning, GTV. How I wish we had 5 of the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong in the country like Ghana. Very sweet, rough. Okay. Carl Quist says, we must protect our journalist. She has a right to ask questions. Okay. Of course she does. Please, the reason why most of us are against the e-levy is that the people who are paying the taxes more are the poor, but they are benefiting less. And the greatest parts are going into the rich people's pockets. And Thomas Roxon believes e-levy is to pay poor. You hear this a lot. I mean, what's your response to that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that the understanding is not clear with them. And if it is clear, because everywhere in the world, nobody wants to pay more tax, they are refusing to accept. But to tell you the truth, I still maintain I don't hold anything against him, because as for tax, it's tough. When I take my rent and the deductions, especially assemblies, the way assemblies, TMA will come for all this rent and all, but the roads right in front of my co-store is nothing to write home about. So nobody likes it. But if government is charging this percentage, we should hold them accountable. That one I agree, that they should be held accountable and make sure that whatever they say that they are going to use the money for, it is used for that purpose.
Okay.
That I agree.
All right.
I don't have a problem. But as for taxes, my brother, we need it to develop this country.
Okay. More messages coming in 055-556-1034. It says, our leaders are referencing MTN to us that they are making profits in millions and it's a private company. You now see why we shouldn't have sold our own national mobile telecommunications company to Vodafone. This tax would have been simple and easy for Ghanaians to pay. Your thoughts on Ghana Telecom going to Vodafone?
Ghana Telecom. Today I have to praise GBC, because your studio is very nice. I'll ask the 2 people to come here and see what you guys have done.
We charge them for the consultancy.
But to tell you the truth, anything government, my brother, I happen to be a chairman of communications committee in Parliament. We went round to inspect the properties owned by Vodafone, the government aid. When you look at the properties they have and the way they maintain it. The last time I came here, he's asking me to go and use the restroom, and I said, no, your bathroom was so dirty. He said, oh, no. This time we've changed it. When you go to the studio, you even see it. I refuse to go to your bathroom because COVID, you want me to go to that place. I say no. It is all because it's government. So anything government, when you sitting here working hard, others are saying that, oh, what's your name, please?
Thelma.
Oh, he's a fool.
Kafui.
Oh, he's a fool. They work as if the business is for their father or parents.
Yeah, and people say that.
Good.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. You see, trying to make the business grow, you have a group of people in GBC here who will chastise you. But when it comes to private company, and it gets to the attention of the management, they'll sack them.
Straight up.
Ghana, when they are calling you all these names, and the boss will be bold to sack them, now they'll go to what? Media Commission, Labor Commission, and one Commission. But if a private company fires you, your Labor Commission won't work for lazy job.
So more questions, more stuff coming in. Let the Honorable Kennedy know that the ambulance is not free in Ghana at all. My brother got sick and had to be transferred from Aplawu to Kolebu and was asked to pay 1,800 cedis before he could be transferred. I had no money then and my brother died in my arms. Unlike here in the USA, the person is sending us from USA, no money is demanded before patients are being attended to.
You see, I always say that black we are naturally born bad.
Including you?
Yes.
Naturally.
Yeah, we are born bad. Yeah, we are naturally born bad. Are you surprised that the gentleman is saying that they demanded money from him?
No, he's happy to meet before.
We've had the ambulance service at the table, and they've said that fuel supply is inadequate, and so they are forced to pass on the charge to the consumer, defeating the purpose of the ambulance use in emergencies. I'm saying that
black people, it's not only Ghana here, black people, we are naturally born bad. And Ghanaians, we are worse. Because he's not supposed to charge.
Right? The ambulance doesn't have fuel. What should they do?
Did he report?
In an emergency situation.
But did you also check that there's no fuel in it? In your haste, your brother is dying.
Yeah, you won't check.
You won't check. Yeah. So you buy into it. That's the way for them to take money from you. Now, are you surprised when it's being used to cut cement? The same reference is making. Will you see that in America? No. Well, I don't know if they know that my cousin is my cousin and nobody demanded money. But I'll tell you the truth. I was not there. But the services they rendered to my cousin, I voluntarily gave them thousand to go back. I did that. Nobody charged me. But for them to demand money from you, I've had that before. Somebody called me to say that her mother was seriously sick and they demanded money. Before they even moved to the location of the sick person. My sister, let us investigate this and see that if it's a requirement from government. This is a sabotage, complete.
More messages. I think the e-levy thing might be very good. Some NPP communicators and some NPP MPs should be stopped from communicating wrongly. They tell us e-levy will do everything in the country. Please, it's not true. Work for Ghana, live for Ghana, God bless our homeland Ghana. That's Agyapong from Adowa. Is there a problem with the communication of the e-levy?
I've not been following, honestly. But I take it to heart.
Okay.
We need to talk about it and see. E-levy can't do everything. And before e-levy, we were surviving. Well, I mean, it has not been passed.
Yes.
Has Ghana come to a halt?
No.
Okay. So that argument, I don't subscribe to it.
Okay.
But it will help the country to move further.
More?
Okay, another question. Good morning. Please ask the Honorable, if we could not manage, she probably wants to say, if we couldn't manage Ghana Telecom before it became Vodafone, can we manage Airtel Tigo?
No, we can't.
It's as simple as that.
Yes.
Unless, is there unless down the line?
No, unless they have partners who will be allowed to work. Politically, forget it. The money they are going to take over in I don't believe in it.
Another one here from Paul Barasu in Sogakofe. What do you have to say about what the Vice President said, that they can't tax mobile money users because it's poor people who use it?
Yeah. But now, the trend is that everybody is doing Momo or whatever they call. Today will be my first time. I'm not going to do it. I'll ask my driver to do it for my brother in Kumasi. And, I agree with him that the ordinary people should not be. But they should cap it. That's what they did. The first 100 Ghana cedis is free. The same thing in America. The first $500 is free. So we consider the ordinary people. But if nothing is done at all about it, others will take advantage of that. And they will not, look, these mobile companies doing the Momo or whatever, they made profit more than the banks.
Do you think we should tax them more?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. But, the disadvantage, the power they have is that we live in a global competitive world. If your taxes to them are so high, they will be tempted to move to other countries. Now, look at the number of employees they have. All these people are going to lose their jobs. So they hold the government balls with this advantage, that if you don't do this for us, if your taxes are high, that is why, the government also has a limit to attract investors into this country. You cannot just go there because your people are saying that they get too much profit and tax them. But they have to be taxed.
More messages coming in like a big avalanche. 05555561034. Let Mr. Kennedy Agyapong know that we are not against tax paying. Problem is that in Ghana, taxes are not used for their intended use. In the USA, he claims, taxes are used judiciously. Even when you are out of a job, you are paid unemployment benefits. Is it the same here? And he wants to know that he feels that you are rich, so you will not feel the effect of the e-levy, but his poor mom will do. Can you convince him?
Yeah, you know what? I have said it several times that nobody wants to pay, even myself. I always argue with this real estate, the way they take their money from me. And today you asked if I'm going to what? He said something. Let me give you one. You see, all these questions they asking because IRS, Ghana Revenue Authority, they rent my premises. Okay? When they pay rent, they take taxes from me. They've never sent me anything to prove that this amount of money was taken from me. Even Ghana Revenue. So if you want a bombshell, this is a bombshell. That's the question you ask. Even Ghana Revenue. So I agree with whoever saying that America, they use it judiciously. But look at national health insurance. Look at free education. Look at the roads. Look at these ambulances that some are taking advantage of it. The development going on in this country. How can you say that the money is not being used judiciously? We don't have enough. We need more. So the problem I have with everybody against the e-levy is that we are not in normal times that we can continuously go and beg for money. Everything. Let's go to IMF. We are being cheap.
A reason why some have suggested that government, as part of cutting expenses, should perhaps consider cutting monies paid to MPs and ministers to keep some more money for other purposes. Is that something you would support?
How much does MP make? How much?
You tell us, you're an MP.
And you bring your irresponsible behavior to me, go and have sex with your wife, make babies, and foolishly bring it to me, MP, to pay your school fees. Go and cut it. Who cares?
Do you pay those school fees?
You get those a lot.
Yes. This year I paid 65 kids to go to university, multiplied by times 3. 1,000 a month.
Why don't you say no?
How do you say no? Look, when you see a child from my village, for the first time, a girl, 7 A's and a B, and she wants to go to police, I say, how? With this grace, you have to go to university. I have to pay. I went to Honorable Sam George's constituency.
Ningo Pram.
Yeah. Ningo, I bought 204 acres. And the villagers have sold the 204 acres. I went there to ask them. Whilst they were there, I saw a lot of youth. Then I asked, so what are you people doing? Yeah, nothing. And 2 guys got up. They said they finished SS. Say, bring your results. They brought 5 A's. Those who have sold my land, I still gave them scholarship to go to school because I don't bring. When I gave them 3,000 each, in my constituency, I gave everybody 3,000. In Ningo, I had to give them 4,500. Those who sold my land. So 9,000 to them. If I'm not a businessman.
How can you?
Okay, take Honorable Sam George, for instance. How is he going to pay for all these people? So you talk of MPs. You are nodding your head. You make MPs corrupt because you beg them and they are forced to go and get money, any means necessary to get money to satisfy you. You are also corrupt. You are quick to criticize MPs, but we don't make anything. And I would say I'm one of the, how do I put it? I paid well because I don't take a lot of loans apart from the car loans. But my sister. The loans they take. We are in 2022. I think in 2012, I know 2 MPs who were taking home 270 Ghana cedis because of loans.
Personal choices. They made decisions to take these loans, and they are coming out.
When it comes to that, fluent English, personal choices. Why don't you convince them to pay the tax for development? Personal choices. It is not their choice because they are embedded with debt, and they had to go and borrow from their ex gratia.
Because you've mentioned debts and payments, the political party financing and financing of campaigns have been a topical issue for a while now. People think that perhaps we should legislate and be able to track the inflows and the outflows of funds for political campaigns. Would you share thoughts on that?
Yeah, that I agree, because there's another school of thought saying that the parties should fund it.
Or the country should fund it.
The country. How is the country going to fund about 15 political parties? Anybody gets up.
I think at our last count it was 23. We asked a cheesy question. It was 20
So this
plus.
time I'm also going to form a political party. Government should fund me. Is that how it should go? No. It's not going to help this country. It will be worse. You will have about 50 political parties in this small country. Because now they know, if you disagree with me, okay, I part ways with you. I'm going to form my own party.
Give me money.
Because government money will come.
Because government money
But
will
should
come.
we probe the sources of the funds for political party activities?
Why not? But you can't. Because if Kafu is going to donate to me, okay, he doesn't even want his name to come up because he's afraid of the system.
But chances are he may have an interest. He may want you to target specifically when you do get into power, and perhaps that's influencing the monies that is pushing into your campaign.
Everywhere in the world. Go and see how Democrats are getting contracts. And we saw Trump's time, how Republicans were getting contracts. So it's everywhere in the world.
I wonder what your thought would be on Apiate. Last Friday, our team was there, and it looks like the victims and the families are still having a bit of a hard time getting over the incident that happened that day that led to loss of lives.
I played the audio on my station for people to hear a guy who saw this Mazam company, the way they go about things. It wasn't the best. And they did things with impunity. And the thing happened on Thursday. On Monday, this guy I played the voice saw their truck, and warned them that the way they are going about things, one day something will happen. And it has happened. You know, because I have inside information, I have refused to contribute to the people.
So you're not going to donate?
No.
Why not?
Why not?
Why? Because I can't let wicked people take advantage of us, and we innocent people go and help them do whatever. They will do things with impunity.
In this
The Mazam company
they've
should
been
not
fined
be
$6
allowed-
million.
$6 million. The amount of money they've made. What is 6 million to them? A Spanish company, 6 million. Is 6 million going to take care of the village people? 6 million.
The president has directed that 5 million should be put in the Apiate support fund. You don't think that would help?
That is not enough.
Have you called your colleague MP to advise, perhaps, on some of your thoughts on the handling of the support from members of the public and others who really want to see people get their lives back on track?
Well, Ghana Gas, that I'm the board chairman, they went there, said 2 million. That time, I was in Kwahu. If I was there, and I didn't have the information then, even if I had it, I would have stopped them. Because we Africans, we play dumb to white people. The only time I, Agyapong, will contribute a peswa is when I see that the company is folding, going out of this country. Because we can't allow these things to go on as human beings. That boy took advantage, and now I hear they are threatening the man every day. What kind of country is this? Because they are foreign company. Excuse me, we are human beings and should not be treated like that. And the guy is called what? Wanga or Wamba something. I have the paper there. He's a northerner. Greedy. He doesn't care. He uses people. Look, let me tell you what they do. This guy, if you have a license to deal in arms, you go to him. He will give you, say, 400 or 600 a year. But in his books, it will be 4,000.
Have you presented some of these findings of yours to the appropriate authorities?
I've
and are they following up on it?
I've told them, Ghana, 6 million is big deal. No amount of money will bring those people who died back.
So are you, at least from a personal perspective, you're just not going to be a part of this rebuilding efforts?
No, until I see a punitive punishment. No, I won't do it. With the information I have, the voices and everything, warnings that were given to these people, the same company, Burkina, but 14 people died. How do you make people, do you make money from people like that? I don't know if that Wanga guy, he sleeps.
Some people have suggested that looking at the value chain of the mining sector in that part of the country and the fact that people buy the services that they provide within the mining space to
Madam,
get their own sources of living, it would be
Madam,
a shot in the foot if the company was asked to fold.
How? How?
That's one school of thought.
The school of thought, they only think of money. They only think of money. Let me tell you what they do. The amphor that they use to mix. You can do it when you take it to the site. But these people wanting to make money, mix it here in Accra. As explosive as it is and dangerous as it is, then they carry it. What are you talking about? Companies that were billions with illegalities like that in the developed countries, they collapsed it. So what are you talking?
But you are in a position where, fortunately for you, you are an MP, you are in Parliament, you get to have a better voice than perhaps someone else on the street. Your party is in power.
You're
the minister
platform.
is your...
GBC, the biggest platform. So now we are discussing this issue.
So are you bringing it up in...
Yeah, why? I've told the national security that this is what the guys were doing. I've played the audio on air for people to hear. But anything between a black man and a white man, unfortunately, as foolish as we blacks are, will support the white. We are jerks. Please.
Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, there are lots of people who look up to you and they think you're an inspiration. And you've mentioned a few things alluding to government being more forceful in areas of job creation, making education sources better. What do you say to, for example, NAPCO trainees who were given a 3-year contract, ended, the idea we'll get back to you with further details. And according to them, at their demonstration recently, when they hit the streets to present a petition, they have not heard back from officials, and their allowances are in arrears.
Yeah, that's where anytime I travel and I get to airport, I get these young men and women coming to me that I should plead on their behalf, that they've not been paid. The government has to pay them. You made propaganda with it. Now, when it comes to these NAPCO guys, MPP now is behaving like NDC. It's a complete propaganda. If you haven't paid them, they have to pay them. Some were assimilated into the system, but not all of them. So if the government thinks it cannot do it again, What is owed to them should be given to them. That, no question about it. Because nobody works for free. You know, we should be reasonable human beings. These students or workers who are employed, those who are employed, at least their transportation costs is not paid by government. They find any means necessary to get to work. So government has no excuse whatsoever to say that they are not going to pay them. Now, this is where you say I'm this and that. You get money to pay 20,000 to parliamentarians, but you don't have money to pay 2,000. Please, I support them. If you demonstrate about a month straight for the government to sit up and pay them, as simple as that.
Mr. Agyapong, the COVID-19 pandemic has not left Ghana entirely, and the whole world is still reeling from this. One of the most topical issues is vaccination and whether it should be made mandatory. I'm triple vaxxed, so I've got my 2 mandatory and then not mandatory, so my 2 jabs and then my booster. Do you support the idea of making vaccinations mandatory in Ghana?
Yeah, to save lives. I have had a booster as well. And let me tell you, when they were fighting in Parliament before Christmas, trying to break the fight, advising MPP, NDC, I got the COVID again. So from, I think, 22nd to 30th, I didn't go out. But it was the first 2 days that I felt my chest was heavy. The rest, nothing happened. I did quarantine. So the vaccination, it helps.
Do you understand the views of those who say they should be given a choice to accept or refuse?
Well, if they have a choice to die, die.
Even if they feel they have legitimate reasons to refuse the vaccine?
What's your legitimate reason that is more important than death? So if you want to die, die.
And should they be denied government services because
yes, of course,
they make a personal choice?
Your personal choice will affect others. So you don't have to come there. You're going to infect innocent people. Why are we afraid to speak the truth? If you have a personal choice, stay home. Don't go and infect others.
Even if they can prove a negative,
proof?
They can offer a negative test at the entrance of whichever government facility
Madam,
they want to. They want to come to GBC. Can you show a test of a negative test, PCR or antigen, to be allowed entry?
Ghanaians and black people, repeat again. We are naturally bombarded. I can tell you that a nephew of mine tested positive and he was going to Canada. They managed to get a negative test for him to go. How? When I heard it, I said, hey, this is very dangerous. So if it is not mandatory, you go out there and get a negative test and infect people. Do you know the cost? This one, let me praise Akufo-Addo. He has done a yeoman's job. The way he has controlled this COVID. That is why Ghana, through Afrochella, was adjudged the best tourist attracted country in Africa. South Africa, with all their development, they couldn't control the COVID. Most of African countries. Look at how Akufo-Addo NPP government has controlled this COVID. And we have opposition ranting. If they were in power, millions of Ghanaians would have died. Because they don't have any clue how to manage this. So please, the truth must be told. I support the mandatory vaccination. Because I've been there. I've had COVID twice. And I'm telling you, the first one, you have no idea.
Will you advise the youth to get into politics? And this is coming from a point of people see persons like yourself and they think that it's a clear path to fame, a clear path to riches. And so they may want to follow in your footsteps. Is this something that you
I will not. I will not personally even advise my kids to get into politics.
Why not? You're in it.
Yeah, I'm in it. And now, when I said I'm leaving, my people, yesterday they called me, the police station, they are saying they will not agree, they will not agree. Let me say that in Chi. I don't know how I'm going to construct that in English. Everybody wants to play with the fool.
What would that...
Yeah, because I'm a fool. They go and make a responsible decision and shift it to me, and I solve it. So they always want me to be there. Politics.
But the fact remains you've never lost an election.
Yeah, because...
Anytime you've stood, you've won it.
Because I'm resourceful. And I use my own money from businesses to help my constituency.
So that you should not think of politics as a...
Yeah, think that's the way you're going to make it. Why is it that? I gave you an example where a former NDC MP, this weekend I gave him 20,000. Why? If politics will make you rich. You see, if you want to be successful in life, it's your choice, your decisions you take, hard work. It is not through politics.
But government, you admit, I would hope that should lay the right foundation and cornerstones in place for the youth to empower themselves to achieve their dreams, wouldn't you say?
I agree with you that the foundation should be laid. But we still have fools who will not even see the foundation. Only thing they want is that government should do this for me. Government has not done this for me. Anybody who relies on government for a living will never succeed unless you go out. Now, let me give you business tips. You are here. You have your morning program. I don't know when you're going to close.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Show wraps at 10.
Good. You are finished with GBC?
Nope.
Right. I'm saying when you close from here.
5 p.m. then. 5.
5 dear staff, a woman. If not, I would have advised that you can do another job. See, one job is not easy to make it. Any time that you are free, you should be doing something to get supplementary income. So if you think politicians are rich, all rich politicians are thieves. Read my lips. Read my lips. And you expect you to show that you're a true journalist. When they are coming, look at their shoes.
All rich politicians
they are thieves.
Does that include you?
I'm a businessman. That's why I said that.
But you're also a politician.
Yeah, so you can add me too. We are all thieves. Yeah, because look, you see, you don't assess them. When they are coming, their campaign, their shoes, their sneakers, all the clothes they wear. When they are going, when they become ministers and they are living, look at the mansions they have.
But there's a provision for people to declare their assets before they assume public office.
Rubbish.
And
rubbish, not you. I'm saying it's rubbish. I'm not saying you are rubbish, no, but it's rubbish. What provisions? I have told you that we are naturally born bad. Anything, if you want my head to be cut today, Ghana, you get somebody to do it. Don't believe the hypes.
I think, do we have more on the screen? Perhaps you can take
rapid
a
fire
few
questions. Who wants to know? Somebody wants to know what you think about the whole private jet conversation. Should the president be flying around in a private jet?
You see, my brother, let me tell you, I'm so disappointed in him. The way he talks about the president's private jet, and was Mahama sitting in his house all the 4 years? We want to know. Now, you see, on a more serious note, assuming the president travels and it costs $14, $15, or $50,000, ask yourself what he brings back to the country. No, you should ask yourself. Let's be fair. If he goes out there for a party, then you have a problem. I will agree with Honorable. But the man goes out there to represent this country. And anytime he goes out there, he brings something home for the country. And you have a problem with that? You have a problem with that? Let's ask Okujeto. This Okujeto guy, this boy, when he was contesting as Nooks whatever, it was Damboche who asked him to come to me in Parliament. And this is his poster to collect money. How many cars does he have today? Please, give me a break. Let's speak the truth once and for all. Okujeto has never worked in his life.
Let's not make this about him, but what's your thought about
he has always been on the neck of Akufo-Addo. The jet. Let us go back to Okujeto's house and see.
Can we afford the jet?
We go there, he brings back 1,000 times more than what we spent. Did you benefit or not? Let's argue in business sense.
But the argument also is that we already have a presidential jet, so why are we hiring private jets? And people are using our presidential jet to fly around West Africa and other places.
But if your presidential jet is not good enough to travel thousands of miles, I always see our presidential jet in Kumasi and the rest when he's doing domestic travels and everything. But if it's far away, now Akufo-Addo cannot go and convince Ghanaians that, look, we need a new private
presidential jet.
That day, I don't know what Ghanaians will say to him. So quietly, he goes out there, hide this private jet. Ghana is paying, but always bring something home, which is 1,000 times more than what we spend. So in business sense, if I invest $50,000 and I make $1 million, did I use anything wrong to cost the nation?
Good return on investment.
Yes.
Well, last question. Somebody wants to know whether you want to step, one day would you like to be president?
I prefer to be a business. My dream in life is to employ minimum of 50,000. So I'm far away. I have 7,000 workers now. Permanent, not casual. So I want to have, I wake up, look, the answer is, my satisfaction in life is when I see my many kids with me on the table, dining. 2, when I go around all my businesses, then I cast my mind back home, that village boy. And I say, Ish, after all, I'm not that bad. But I struggle to make more.
Although you were born bad.
I wasn't born bad.
No, you said we are all born bad.
Yeah, we are black people, we are all naturally born bad.
But, so are you good now?
You can tell. I don't say that, but judge it yourself. The lady said, I'm trying to straighten things up.
Well, you are brutally honest. Which is,
do you have any regrets with your, what you call your honesty? Is there something you wish you had never gone into?
That is why the gentleman is asking that question, that you want to be president one day. I don't, but it doesn't mean I'm not capable. I can change this country, and you guys, you clap for me.
Where would you start? If you were president today, first 100 days, what would you achieve? First 100 days, what would you achieve?
The first 100 days will be discipline.
In which area?
Oh, let me tell you. I won't mention the ministry. On Thursday, 9 o'clock, I went to one ministry. All directors were absent, were not at their desks, except one guy. Look, if I'm president today, Jesus Christ. If you're a minister, 8, you are not there, we have a problem. So if the minister has a problem, what will happen to the director? What will happen to those down there? And you can't tell me you can't do it. You can do it because you are here. I came to meet you. It means you got up around 5 because your program probably starts at 6. Why is it that those starts at 9. Right there, you are joking. You go to Ghana Gas. I went there, and madam, some people use COVID to stay home for 18 months. I said, what? Are you out of your mind? Hell no. It's not happening in this institution anymore. The next day, all those who stayed home between 18 to 24 months reported.
Miracle.
What would be your idea on broadening the tax net if you had an opportunity?
Yeah, the informal, like, they all have to pay tax.
In what way? Because the market women pay tolls, and they think that they assume that it's some form of tax.
Let me show you. When we come to the artisans, in Côte d'Ivoire, any plumber you see has a license and a tax ID. So when I'm going to give him a job, I ask for his license and a tax ID. So I report. Okay? Mechanic, everybody, you have to do it so that we get something from them. And you see, like that, they make more. I'm working with them, so I know how much money they make. One guy working at the steel plant, his labor cost is 1.2 million. Madam.
120.
No, 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Yes. That is his charge. He has workers, all right. How much is he going? Even if he makes 10% of 1.2, it's 120,000. You make 120,000 a year from GBC,
nope.
And you pay tax. Why is it that he is not paying tax? Right there, you are there. Truck drivers, taxi drivers, they are the one, when you sit in the truck and the taxis, they'll be preaching. They get everything free.
They have recently been agitating against increases in fuel prices
increases
and spare
in fuel
parts.
Prices. Does it affect truck drivers alone? I also fuel my car. You fuel your car. That is no excuse. It's a job. The transport owner is not paying tax. The driver is not paying tax. And you are complaining. They all have to pay. If you want development. Look, we should be serious as a country.
Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong.
So, I mean, my first 100 days as president, discipline in this country. And people have been coming to me, oh, you have to contest for, I say, you'll be the first person I will arrest. You will arrest you because you'll be swelling head, oh, we help you come to power. So in one day, you go and use my name. I'll arrest you. Straight away. And the tone went, I'll agree, or what? You will not agree. But I'll arrest you.